Are fake AI job seekers a risk right now? How is last weekend's Coachella a finance case study? In this issue of Sunday Strategy, we look at 5 stories to think about next week, including fake AI job seekers, the certainty recession, the White Lotus effect, AI tourism ads, and buy now, pay later festivals. In addition, we have ads from Telstra, Tesco Mobile, NoBull, Penney, and Coca-Cola. So first up, are robots interviewing for our jobs? Well, remote jobs have created an unexpected risk in the form of fake employees. So CNBC reports a rise in deep fake job seekers who use AI to generate fake employment histories and interview using deep fake technology over video. Once employed, they can install malware or ransomware, steal IP, or take customer data. Gartner predicts by 2028, 1 in 4 job candidates will be fake, implying we're moving from an age of AI-optimized applications to AI applicants. Now, what will this shift mean for employment? Are we poised to see a shift towards an in-person application phase? Or are we simply in a moment where fake technology has exceeded detection technology? For today, AI employees mean theft. But tomorrow, do they mean another way for the overemployed to expand their jobs? Next, how do brands navigate the certainty recession? So are we facing a recession? Well, we're not certain when or if we are, but the lack of any economic certainty is already having a chilling effect on consumer spending and on brands. As short news cycles meet long periods of delayed disaster, we're left trying to find economic indicators amongst worrying stories. So the certainty recession we're in is interesting because as tariffs are announced, rescinded, delayed, exempted, and changed, they've driven down consumer confidence and they've left brands paralyzed in how to act. Now, as consumers simultaneously accelerate spending on certain categories and save in others, as well as beginning to raid their savings, the only constant for brands is that change is certain. Now, in a polarized economy and in a polarized culture, no one playbook exists for brands. We need to draw from recession case studies when necessary, but also capture demand where possible. Now, one thing is certain, whether or not a recession is looming, brands have to engage. Now, uncertainty promotes inaction, but those that engage and adapt with the market and with changing consumer behavior can minimize the damage from this period of chaos. Now, let's talk about searching for the White Lotus effect. So as the 3rd season of the White Lotus wraps up, brands have clamored to build on real or fake associations between brands and the show. While previous seasons have shown that there's definitely a White Lotus effect, great examples of it being that 4 Seasons locations where the show is filmed saw significant increases in interest. There's a 193% increase in searches from Season 2's location and a 425% increase in website visits for Season 1's location. There's also been examples across clothing and luggage brands that saw sales uplifts. However, how prominent does a brand need to be to get an uplift? What happens when the associations aren't as ideal as planned, as happened with Coffee Mate's limited edition line and a poison pina colada storyline? Is any publicity good publicity? Are some brands hoping that they stay background characters throughout their stay? Now, we ask, does AI benefit or hinder tourism ads? So Brand Tech Group have launched AI-generated in-flight content for Japan Airlines using Google's VO2 model. The content inspires travelers to think about the potential of what their trip could mean and builds on previous AI-fueled work from destinations like Lithuania. However, as AI creeps further into travel content, are we missing the point? Is realism needed to root content in a destination, or is the fantasy AI can sell more compelling than what travel could actually be? Finally this week, let's talk about buy now, pay later festivals. So as US music festival Coachella finishes up its first of 2 weekends this week, amongst record heat and iconic performances, one unique feature of this year's event is how festival goers have paid for it. So Billboard reports that 60% of general admission ticket buyers have used a payment plan, requiring as little as $49.99 up front to buy the $600 tickets. Now, festival installment plans aren't new. as Coachella launched a plan in 2009 and Reading Festival in the UK has offered the same for even longer. However, in a year featuring economic uncertainty and market chaos, the expense of Coachella, where overall cost of attendance can be over $1,000, could seem contradictory for many until financial accessibility measures are taken into account. Now, while it would be tempting to use Coachella and other festivals as an indicator of a U-shaped economy, it's more accurate to consider how buy now, pay later has helped events continue to sell despite less ability to buy. Now, let's talk about 5 ads you might have missed in the last week. First, we have Wherever We Go from Telstra. So Australian telecoms brand Telstra has brought a sense of rural Australian Gothic storytelling to its latest business-focused ad. Whereas B2B advertising is often stereotyped as dry, even emotive examples often take a realistic approach to highlighting businesses. Telstra challenges this with a story about a shoemaker wandering the Australian countryside in a fantastical rolling shop, and in the process touches on some of the wonder and connection of business ownership. In other telecoms news, we have Same But Tesco from Tesco Mobile, Ireland. So it asks, if we all do the same things on our phones, why do we need different mobile networks? So grocer Tesco has a history with its mobile network of being no nonsense, and at times incredibly brutal with how it looks at the world and interacts with people in social media. Its latest ads in Ireland use cats and their views of their owners' phones to show similar phone usage requiring similar mobile networks. So for a category where price and features often try to create distinctiveness, Tesco uses its budget positioning to go in an opposite direction, pulling everyone down to its level in a humorous way. So third this week, we have Yes, J.C. Penney by J.C. Penney. So finding a deal is worth more than the price you pay. It comes with a sense of accomplishment, discovery, or even envy from others. So while brands like TK Maxx have championed the search and the find of things, and brands like Payless have subverted expectations with fake luxury brands, JCPenney has launched a new campaign that focuses on how your deals can make others feel. So in a week where market chaos has made economic envy resonate a little bit harder than normal, the US retailer has tapped into how great deals can inspire jealousy or appreciation. So its airplane ad brings to life the new positioning by highlighting how a $79 outfit in economy class can inspire jealousy amongst the first class passengers that see it. The external focus tackles the negative perceptions of the brand head on, while making the brand less about finding a deal and more about what that deal can do to others, putting it in a distinct space versus other value brands who operate more as bargain bins. Fourth, we look at an ad now from NoBull called The Gym Is Yours. Now, fitness brands exist in an intriguing spectrum, ranging from celebrating the struggle through to celebrating the good feeling after. For every celebration of fast you find in Puma, there's a grit-focused Under Armour ad that wants you to bathe in discomfort. Now, NoBull's latest ad is interesting as it tries to split the difference on this scale, using the gym as a vehicle to talk about hard work in a positive way. For a brand built on the grit of CrossFit, does this signal a shift towards wider fitness? And is that on the heels of greater competition in the traditional space? We'll have to see. Finally this week, we have Classics from Coca-Cola. Now, very few brands have a heritage worth celebrating widely. This is often a hard pill to swallow, especially as internal brand pride amongst employees and teams is always greater than consumer engagement with a brand. However, for brands like Coca-Cola, its ubiquity offers a compelling chance to look back on its cultural impact. While cultural heritage is a double-edged sword, you only need to look at the blowback to any changes of Coke's Holidays Are Coming ads to see this. Their latest campaign effectively champions where they have shown up in culture. Now, it's taking a leap from Heinz's previous campaign, where the brand listed its ketchup as an actor in all the famous movie scenes it's featured in. Classics celebrates mentions of Coca-Cola in famous film scripts. It's an equity few brands have, so flexing it from time to time feels like a necessary move that also, pressures a brand team to continue building on its legacy. So that's it for this week. Thanks for listening. And as always, let us know what you think by reaching out at newclassic.agency or on LinkedIn. Don't forget, you can subscribe to the email version to have this delivered every Sunday on either Substack, thesundaystrategy.substack.com, or on LinkedIn. And if you prefer something more audiovisual, you can find us on YouTube, TikTok, or Spotify. Now, find links to everything we've talked about in the show notes. And until next week, we'll see you then.